This is your voice, your station. Wrexham Premier Radio is dedicated to you. Together, let's share stories and celebrate the music that brings us together.
Wow. It's so difficult when you get the opportunity to play a little bit of John Lennon and you think, well, I better play Imagine, you know what I mean? Because it's iconic, but there you go. Brilliant. John Lennon then on the Stage and Screen Show with Imagine, and fans of John Lennon will be pleased to know that there is a brand new piece called Something About Lennon coming to the William Aston Hall this Monday night. That's Monday the 19th of May. Stars Daniel Taylor, and I caught a word with Daniel on Thursday afternoon. Here he is on the Stage and Screen Show. Well, incredibly, I was just having a look back on the last time I actually spoke to you on the radio. It's almost been a year to the day when you were here with there's Something About George. It seems incredible. Time just flies, right?
I know. And next year I'll be there at the very same time with Something About Ringo.
Oh, really?
No.
The thing is, it wouldn't surprise me, you know.
Well, stranger things have happened, I suppose, really.
But the producers they've chosen some of the most iconic names in music. That's why I thought you were being serious then. They've had Paul Simon, George Harrison, as we said, you did last year. And I can remember saying to you a couple of years ago, it only seems like a matter of time till this will get the John Lennon treatment. So I'm not really that surprised, to be honest.
Well, I think I'd mentioned that I'd done the Lennon Through a Glass Onion show, which I did when we did a sort of 10-country tour, and we finished over in America, which was kind of quite apt, really, because obviously that's where John moved to, and he was sort of adopted by the New Yorkers, if you like. So anyway, so from that, and I think I'd mentioned while we were doing George, and then, ooh, okay, maybe we could do something there after George. So yeah. I think that's kind of how things materialised a little bit. But yeah.
Well, I saw you playing John Lennon, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've seen anybody better play John Lennon like you have. But that's not actually how these productions work, right? You're not playing John Lennon. You're telling his story, right?
I'm telling his story as Danny, but occasionally sort of slip into, you know, he's there and he's looking down the nose because he couldn't see anything. He was blind in the past. And of course, that famous stance of his and the chewing that all went on, and, you know, and I do just try and take on his persona sort of through the show, but I kind of leave it when I sort of start talking, you know, about his life, I guess. So, but it is
it's very autobiographical, isn't it? And I don't think anybody in any of the entertainment world it was such a controversial and divisive figure as John Lennon. And I think as an audience member, when I come away from your productions, I always feel like I've learnt something about them that I didn't think I knew before. Has there been anything about Lennon that you've learned in this process?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is quite a few things, but I think the thing is, though, Andy, is we say the word controversial, but actually, I think he was just honest and just sort of said things that, you know, possibly people didn't want to hear. You know, it was everything before Elvis, and John Lennon said this, everything before Elvis was a lot different, you know. When rock and roll came along, and people over here, especially in Liverpool, because they were getting records in Liverpool before they got to London. So they were listening to a lot of this old, you know, early rock and roll stuff. But people like Elvis came along and just sort of woke people up. Yeah. And you know, our mum and dad's generation especially, you know, I hear my mum talk about it, and she, you know, and my dad, and they grew up in, you know, in the area where they're from, or where they used to hang out. Mm-hmm. And they talk about it and how it sort of changed everything. But in terms of, like, what I've learned, I mean, I've learned a lot about, there is a lot more that I've learned, and I think as well, with the whole green card thing as well, and the whole situation of getting his phone tapped, and the Nixon administration actually planting people in his day-to-day activities just to keep track of him.
Yeah.
And the lengths that they would go to, because they were desperate to deport him, because he was a pain in the backside, basically, because he said it like it was. And yeah, and there's things like that you just kind of go, my God, this actually was really happening.
Yeah.
And then you kind of think, well, why didn't they just bump him off? Because, governments are capable of doing things like that, I'm sure. So,
yeah.
I don't know, there's so much really to talk about there, just that alone. Intrusion and all that type of thing, press intrusion as well. So,
but as I say, it's Something About Lennon. It's almost like his autobiography through music, and his back catalogue, whether it be with the Beatles or as a solo artist, it's vast, right? So, I mean, the biggest headache for you guys was choosing what to leave out, I suppose.
Yeah, of course, and it's. With a back catalogue like Lennon's and, even his Beatle work, it's impossible, really. I mean, we had it with George as well. I mean, he didn't write as much, but, the songs that George did write, my God, they were absolutely timeless, as you know. But, it's whatever we do with this show, we can't keep them for more than 2 hours anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's an impossible job, really, for the producers, because there is so much to sort of choose from. So,
but I think you will upset somebody, because you will definitely miss out their favourite.
Exactly, yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lovely little tour. I was just checking out the tour now. It's you seem to be going to a lot of places that these kind of things don't normally spread out to, and it's lovely. Do you like life on the road? Is it a good place to be?
Yeah, I do. I mean, do you know what? I always thought when I was younger, certainly even before going to college, and but if you got to do a job that you loved in life, then that was a bonus, right?
Yep.
And if you got to travel with the job, that was even more of a bonus, because, seeing the world and seeing it in its different, I mean, even in this country, it's I love it. I do. I love the adventure and stuff, just taking the show into different places and seeing people's reactions. It's always, I mean, you'll know that, Andy, with touring yourself, it's, I love it. I love the adventure side of it as well, and sort of getting back in the van at the end of the show, and where are we going next? Where are we going to lay our hat for the evening?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's Something About Lennon. It's is it a world premiere on Monday night at the William Aston Hall? Or is it
is. It's a brand new show, Andrew. And I've been told to officially invite you as well.
I will be there.
To do an interview. Does he want to come? And I went, well, yeah, probably, yeah.
I will definitely be there. I'll be there with brass knobs on. I can't wait for it. I really enjoyed Something About George, and the place was heaving that night. It was just rocking. It was a fantastic evening. I can't wait for this one.
I know, and God, it was a brilliant night, actually, and Glenda was there as well, our old teacher. That was lovely.
Yes.
Touch as well to it as well, so I must drop her a line, but I will. I'll keep this as a radio interview.
All right, mate.
Mate.
But I know you're in rehearsals. I can hear you in the rehearsal studio there, and it's I really can't wait for it, mate. It's on Monday night in Wrexham, Monday the 19th of May, and it's a completely live production, a live band. It's anybody that hasn't experienced this sort of thing, you need to get to the William Aston Hall on Monday night.
It's
terrific.
You'll remember from the Something About George, Andy, with all the great sort of videography going on behind us. I mean, I never got to see any of it because I was always facing out front, so I've no idea what was on there. But it was, and the band as well, of course. It's we've got the cream of sort of, if you like, Merseyside they're an amazing band. You've seen them before. They really are top notch. We've got an amazing MD and Joe Smithson, who's constantly working on all the big shows as well. So yeah, We've got a good team.
Fantastic. Daniel Taylor, it's always a treat to speak to you, my man. Thanks ever so much for that. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Andy, and I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, perfect. I shall see you Monday night. Don't we worry about that. I shall wait behind and give you a big squeeze at the end. Lovely to speak to you, pal.
All right, pal. You take care.
Cheers. Take it easy.
Cheers, Andy.
Ta-ra, ta-ra. The fantastic Beatles and Revolution and Something About Lennon will be coming to the William Aston Hall on Monday the 19th of May. That's this Monday. Box office number then for the William Aston Hall, 01352 344 101. Again, 01352 344 101. Go on, support your local theatres, ladies and gentlemen. They won't be there forever if you don't.
Connecting your community from Pentre Broughton, Rhuaben to Guernsey. This is your real local radio station, helping put the unity back in our community. This is Wrexham Premier Radio.